In this short tutorial, I'm going to show you how to apply an HDRI, basically a high dynamic range image, to my scene in Blender. And it basically comes in as like a sphere, and we're inside the sphere. Now, I've downloaded already a few images from polyhaven.com. Just go to polyhaven.com, assets, HDRIs, and scroll down and find something you like. And if you look at them, these are not the normal sort of rectangular images. You can see they're distorted in sort of a spherical manner. And if I click on this one, for example, I've been downloading the 1K EXRs, but the higher the number, the better the quality. But of course, the harder your computer has to work, the more Blender has to work because there's more pixels. So that's polyhaven.com, and on my desktop here are three I've just put ready to use, and I'll go back to my Blender. And how do I do it? Well, on the right hand side, so this is just a normal scene. On the right hand side, I go to the world icon here and click on new, and I could do a color. You can see it's come in as a color here, and I can choose what I like, although nothing's changing. So in the top right here, these are my viewport shading options. I'm in solid. Then we can go to material preview. But what we'll do is we'll go to viewport shading, the rendered view. And now I can see color coming in. And I can reduce the strength if I want to, or go the other way. But it's not a color I want, it's an HDRI I want. So where it says color, I click on the little yellow dot. Under texture, environment texture, because it's an environment. And then it will ask me to open. Now, we've got this lovely pink, and pink in Blender means it can't find the image. So I click on open. I'll go to my desktop and I will choose one. Here you go. And by the way, in Blender, I've clicked on the thumbnail view here in the top right. I'll click on open and we'll just wait. And here we go. And if I just scroll around, I've got a magic mouse, so I'm just stroking the mouse there. There we can see. It's a bit soft because it's the 1K version. You can see the pixelation there. But I'm in perspective mode. If I go to number keypad 5, I don't see it because I'm in orthographic mode, and number keypad 5 again, so I go back to perspective. So you need to be in perspective, and you also need to be on the rendered view, because if I swap to the other, it won't do it. And if I then add a plane, Shift A, Mesh, Plane, S20, which is scale up to 20 times. And if I choose, let's choose a different one. Let's choose this one, say. There we go. You see now I have a sort of scene already without me hardly doing anything. And I'm on the plane, so I can click on the material here, click on new, and maybe I'll give it light green color, you know, to make it sort of match, and I can zoom out, there we go, and so on and so forth. And if I do an F12, which on my machine is render, or if your keyboard, if you've got a laptop, if your keyboard, your function keyboards are not set up that way, go to render, render image, and I need a camera. So number keypad 3, Shift A, camera, camera, G, move it up, RZ, there you go, number keypad 0, see there you go, there's my figure, and I do an F12, and we just wait a second, and there we go, and that's how I bring in my HDR. Now I'm going to close this down, and you can see how soft the background is, so I'm going to go to the world icon, and here we've got the 1K version. I'll click on the folder, and I've downloaded quickly the 4K version, so we'll open that up, and we should, there you go, you see, go back to number keypad 0, we should have a better result. Go back to that, and so if I choose it back to 1K, see how blurred it is, 4K, and I'm going to do F11, which shows the previous render, and I'm going to go to slot 2, there's nothing in it, I'll do an F12, which means I'm rendering again, there you go, And if I go back to slot 1, which was the old 1K render, and you can see the difference on, oh, there you go, on the background. And that's how you play around with an HDR image within Blender.